drive, and a save there, and they score! So here's Lassen with a shot, and he scores! He drives it in, walking in, he shoots and scores! Mustangs draw first one. Teresic gets a shot and scores! 4-4. Lachlan going to the net, shoots, and he scores! And then towards Cox. Cox gets a shot away, Davis makes the save. No, it's in! It's in! First take the lead!
Live from O'Brien Group Arena in Melbourne, this is AIHL TV. The regular season is brought to you by Air Canada, who offer the only daily and non-stop service to Vancouver. For details, visit aircanada.com.au. Owners are a direct infrastructure investor with a portfolio worth in excess of $50 billion. ATC Productions, your live event technical provider. And APA Group, delivering Australia's energy.
Welcome to the O'Brien Icehouse. It is Pride Game Day here in Melbourne today between the Melbourne Mustangs and the Adelaide Adrenaline. I'm your commentator, Jeffrey Coop. I am absolutely excited to be joined in commentary by Mr. Rod Johns. Mr. Johns, welcome to the game.
And thank you for the great welcome, my friend. I look forward to this. And we were saying earlier that this will be the first time that we've done an AHL game together. However, we have been together before.
We have, and that was a very interesting time, that first time we were together there.
Yep.
These two teams, very interesting where they're sitting in the league at the moment. We'll start with the Mustangs. They had an interesting loss Friday night against the Melbourne Ice. They were 3-0 down, came back, lost it in a shootout. There's some interesting things happened in that second period as well. What's the mood like in the Mustangs room after a derby? Not before it. What's it like afterwards? Because I know the lead-up is very intense. Is there a little bit of a drop afterwards?
I think it all depends on what the score is, okay? So obviously if you win the game, you're very high, okay? If you lose the game when you should have won the game, you're probably low. And I think that, like I said, that the guys would have left the rink thinking, hang on, that wasn't meant to happen. And if you pulled the population...
Welcome everybody.
A quick speech here.
I doubt it.
Pride Game Day.
This Mustang initiative is continuing into its third year. Regardless of your gender, sexuality, race or religion, here at the Melbourne Mustang, you are most welcome. We continue to strive to create a safe and welcoming environment for everybody. On behalf of the Mustangs, I would like to thank our Pride partners in Amnesty International and the LGBTIQ community for their ongoing support and helping make this a great inclusive event. Please also join me in welcoming here today Amnesty International board member Mario Santos. Communications and Partnership Strategist of the Consulate General of Canada here in Australia, Michael O'Donnell. You Can Play is a social activism campaign dedicated to the eradication of homophobia in sport. It's centred on the slogan, if you can play, you can play. The campaign was launched in March 2012 by three co-founders, Patrick Burke, Brian Kitts and Glenn Whitman. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you today to say a few words and drop the ceremonial puck, co-founder of You Can Play, Glenn Whitman.
Thank you. I'll keep it short because we got a game to play, but it's events like this that make sports and hockey arena more inclusive and safer for our youth, young adults and fans. And it's from when we started 8 years ago. We did our first You Can Play night with the Florida Panthers, and now we are in almost every NHL city. So thank you for doing this Pride Night, and let's have a great game. Thank you.
Can we have the two captains, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove all headwear as the national anthem is played.
Ceremonies are over as he's going with the form of the Pride Game Day. You can send in your tweets, use as hashtag AIHL Game Day. The Mustangs looking for revenge for that derby loss on Friday night. A young adrenaline side still looking for their first win. They're coming ever and ever closer, aren't they, Rod?
They are, my friend. And I think that the game yesterday can sort of reinforce that. So that was very good to see, 4-2. And like you said, they were leading for a while, so they must have come out of that thinking that was a good thing. Simone Marshall tuned into YouTube to watch Mustangs hockey. Well, Simone, let's hope we give you a good game. And a little bit of humor, too.
Well, hey, it's a Pride Day.
It's a very good game coming up indeed. The Mustangs in their white Pride jerseys this year. The past couple of years, it's been a black jersey.
Yeah.
This year, it's a white one. It's looking resplendent out there. Adelaide, I must say, in one of the best looking threads this league offers up, with one of the better logos they've now got as well.
You like that one?
I like it a lot better than the old day.
It's direct and to the point,
It
I
is.
think.
It very
Get
much
it?
is.
All right, we're on a roll, man.
Joey Resnick will be out there for the first line. Joey Resnick very lucky to be playing this game, actually, after an incident yesterday with Matt Armstrong. We're interested to see how he goes. Vadim Vyasov out there for the Melbourne Mustangs. Scored a great goal on Friday night. Kritoshka out there leading the adrenaline in nearly every stat except points. That goes to Joey Resnick, and it's the Mustangs who win the opening face-off here at the O'Brien Icehouse. We are underway, D to D. Go the Mustangs. They'll go up the far side boards, look to play it in, but Adelaide are there to intercept it. Kritoshka can't take it and neutralise. Resnick comes across, sees off Damien Bright, plays it into the zone. Kritoshka and McMahon. Head out wide, picked up by Resnick, throws it in. There's an adrenaline player offside. It was McGuinness. And the Mustangs will have a bit of time to get it out through Vyasov. He has a forecheck and Resnick gets it up and down the line. Owens loses and regains, trying to spin away in the corner and does. Plays it into centre ice to Vyasov, trying to go back. Here they find their way through, but it's Kritoshka who will pick that up and wrap it around. Picked up here Vyasov. Vyasov with a little bit of time, loses a player behind the net, tries to centre, and it will be covered there by Glenn Forbes-White in net for the Adrenaline today. Jesse Gordachuk sits and brought an interesting move there from the Adrenaline to rest their import goalie.
Well, got to give him credit for trying something different. Joel South, here we go. This game will be awesome. Also went to the Bears versus Ice Dogs game last night, and my producer was too quick.
He was. You've lost the rest of the tweet. The Adrenaline will win this face-off here. They'll go behind the goal and try and clear this one out. They will through Nuber, who also had a very interesting game. It did Mr. Nuber. He now goes in. Chance, Pine Murphy shuts the gates. And Andrew Erzin, who also had a very interesting derby game. The less we speak of that, maybe the better.
We spoke a lot about it.
Flack into the middle, across. Shot goes in and it goes wide. Picked up here by Apps. Played it back and it's deflected wide. Erzin careens off and it sort of just ricochets its way behind the net. No one for a second there really knew where it was, and Steve Best gets it out and away. Benson plays it in, plays it deep. And the Mustangs will look to get this out and away through Robertson. Plays it up, here's Jamie Burke. Ever present in every game he plays. Tries to go through the centre, but his stick is affected multiple times and he loses the puck. Here's Bright, tries to go back to Jamie Burke. Zach Boyle got in the way. Burke Working hard, and down it goes. Jamie Burke called for an ice there in front of us. I don't think he was ever going to get his request accepted. A bit of a slow start to this one here. Both teams just feeling each other out. And into the zone, the Mustangs, far side, look to work it into the middle, and it's seen away. Riley will not get there first. It will be McMahon instead. The cycle shot goes in. Seen wide there by Forbes White. Escapes out of the zone, and Damien Bright's going to have to go back and get this. A little bit of a chase there with Jake Riley on his 6, but sends it away comfortably. The Mustangs will look to reset. Touch it into the zone. Up here by Chen. That'll just not be effective in getting that out. Chance down low for Veryasov, but he could not control it. Up here by Owens. Played out and away. And this game not reaching any real great heights to start off with. Here goes Veryasov again. Tries to go within. There was Alex Chen there, who stopped him. And Adelaide will just chip this out and away, and Adelaide seem content. Well, they've turned it over here of the Mustangs. It's chance here for Rezic. It's a good save there by Pine Murphy. Rod, few people will know that I'm very positive of Mr. Jaden Pine Murphy when he plays on a Sunday. Sunday Pine Murphy is very much a thing.
Is that a religious thing, or what is that?
He is immense on Sundays. I don't think I've seen him play a bad game on a Sunday.
Oh, that's good. I think that that's a very positive thing, because that means that it'll pay off well for the Mustangs.
A shot there from Marcel McGuinness at the blue line was not positive, as he's whiffed on it completely, but Adelaide will be lucky to recontrol things through Marcel, the brother of Remy. Up it goes, and it's played directly down, and Pine Murphy just deflects it wide. Robertson doing his best to get it out of there, and does. Troy Robertson going a long way. Tried to centre it, but it was deflected away by the adrenaline off the boards. And we'll go back and collect here the Mustangs through Anderson. Through the middle. Bradley Apps. Comes now with a bit of space. Goes out wide. Finds Flack. Turned it over. Away go the adrenaline. Here's Riley. Riley threw a couple. Still going. Riley had Boyle in the middle, but was well defended there by McMahon. Mustangs see off. Oh, what an interesting chance there. And Pine Murphy still doesn't know what to do with it. Riley comes in late. And a lack of communication there.
Well, that's a bit of a no-no for sure, passing across in front of your net like that.
Oh,
you're always into danger.
Andrew Erzen was not expecting it to go through there.
Mr. Clough. Adrenaline need to back up yesterday's efforts today. Can't follow a competitive effort with a poor one. Well, let's see what happens here, mate. So far, so good for them.
They've started well like they did yesterday, but it's the Mustangs in attack. They'll throw it across, and it will be seen out wide there by Gaultier. Stapleton just launches it off the back glass. No one from the Mustangs really seemed interested in getting it. Circling there was Stapleton, but Bright will take this out. Bright feet into the middle, but the Mustangs really not connecting there, and it's not really clicking early on for the Mustangs. Here goes Kratoshka, down goes a Mustangs player in the middle. Cycle on through, nearly ends up in the slot, but McMahon there. Shot comes in from Boyle, tip on the way, still going there is Anderson. And Adelaide are really finding their feet now in this one. Just stuck in contention there for a little bit. The Mustangs will just look to reset things. Just calm it down and see off a little bit of Adelaide's momentum that they've built in these last couple of minutes. Nice one-touch passing there. Here's Owens. Owens goes across. Has Veryasov following up there. Good save by Forbes White. Seen White still with the Mustangs. Chance still on if they can find something going. Owens tries to go below the line. Does. Look there by Boyle to stop the wraparound. Play it off the back of Forbes White there, but the deflection fell kindly for him. There's Isaacson there. Played into the lie slot area. Jam in front, still going, and oh my word! Forbes White
3 good saves.
The kid stands up and has counted early. First good save there, second good save.
3 right there. So great pad play on his part. Too much activity in front for him. Mr. McDougall, great to hear you again, guys. Hopefully this one is closer than the Blues versus the Bruins this morning. Wow, 7-2 I think the final score was. That would be an eye-opener for the Blues for sure.
It would be. They're now 2-1 down in that final series. Shot comes in from the point by Robertson. Was never on target though. There was a chance out there, but the centering pass was blocked before it could go into any dangerous areas. Newbert now. Looking around the adrenaline, touching it up. Here's Foal. Foal, oh, he escapes a wild hit there. It was Stringer who lined Foal up. Nothing came of it. Darling through the middle. They'll just dump it down and in, and they'll look to reset. It's Gautier. Adelaide have done well in this game. That's not as well as you would have hoped right there. Poor turnover. Flack working hard at the point there. And, oh, there's a big, nasty hit. Arm stays down, though. Working in as Flack. Flack will wheel around. Top. There's McMahon. Shot is seen wide. Apps who went down low to get it. Still going here, the Mustangs. Poke checked away. Picked up by McMahon. Tries to play it into the centre. It creens up and into the netting just below the bar window.
So let's go back to your comment in relation to Jaden Pine-Murphy. So aside from the fact that it's Sunday and he plays well,
yes.
I hope he plays well, because on Saturday there would be people who would be going 3-0, plays with the Mustangs, but they're down 3-0. They quickly look at the goaltender, which I think is very... It's quick to jump at the wrong things, you know?
Yes.
So he needs to build his confidence back up and show people that, well, he's a good goalie, and I think he's a good goalie. And so let's hope he has a great game, because he didn't have a bad one, but there were people that were looking towards him and were surprised at the score.
Well, that's something that always does happen as well. When you do tend to concede a few goals in quick succession, fans and players, as offside is called there on the Mustangs, fans will generally look at the goaltender and point the finger of blame. And he's the first one to get all the plaudits when things go well.
Lemley Fowling, great jerseys for Mustangs and a good cause. Nice to hear some great commentary. Well, thanks from both of us. So getting back to that though, but that's the thing, like the thing is that the goal gets scored and the last play in the game goes to the goalie. So right away you blame the goalie, but you got to look at all the things that led up to that goal. Was he supported properly? Okay.
Yes.
Was there a back check on to try to get the puck away from the opposition? Was everybody in the right place? And when you look at it that way, you quickly realize that that isn't always the case.
Yes. Adelaide win the face-off. They go up to Boyle. Here goes Kratoshka. Kratoshka tries to come inside. Still going as Alice Kratoshka. Tries to centre it up. Came off the back of Anderson. Picked up by Boyle. Boyle shoots and a Pine-Murphy save there. Anderson working hard. And he gets a stick a bit high there, but no call. And clearing it out and away is Jamie Burke. Picked up by McGuinness of the Marcel variety. Boyle. Up to Rezic. That's nice play. Here's Harley Anderson. He whiffs, so he was offside as well. Due to the whiff was the young Queenslander.
So just closing that loop on the goalie though, and then you get our friend down here who makes 3 saves in a row, and that's what you expect. You expect that he makes the first save that he has to make, and then he makes the next save. That's beautiful, right? That is beautiful. Sarah Bricknell, does anyone else think Rod John should have a glitter rainbow beard for next year?
I will personally
Mustangs Hockey Pride game.
The GoFundMe for that one. Yeah,
well,
I will.
If I still have my beard, I'll happily do it.
The beard is under threat. Vyasov centers this one up, and the shot is effective. And away goes Steve Best. There's company with Robertson. He just takes it into the zone, does Best. Does well to keep it in. And away go the Stangs instead. Isaacson couldn't centre it. There's a man at the back. Still Vyasov. Forbes White covers. Vyasov was all alone.
There you go, man. So good pickup, because that's what I was going to say. He was wide open, and Isaacson was looking for him. So where's the back check to pick up the floating forward, okay? You can't say it enough. Emily Clulo hyped up watching the Mustangs versus Adelaide stream, getting ready to go and witness that new Northstars smash Sydney Bears. Well,
there you go. Emily Clulo is a former Merriweather High alumni. I would know that. That was my high school as well, up there in Newcastle. bit of a
Was it a good school?
Yeah, it was a very good school. I enjoyed going to school there immensely. The Mustangs now trying to find another attacking opportunity, but Adelaide shut this down. A nice rink-wide pass out to Ryan Fole, one of Adelaide's young brigade, and he loses his footing. And Damien Bright there was able to knock him off the centre of axis there and just collect the puck. It seems to be the go at the moment that no one's really centred, including a centering opportunity to Vyasov just then. The shot comes in, attempt by Apps, it's turned over, and away go Adelaide through Kratoshka. He's got Anderson with him. He'll take the zone. Kratoshka trying to find Anderson at the back, but he couldn't get the stick down and tap it in at time. Cycles it around, but picked up by McCoy. Played around, but Adelaide will do well to stop the clearing attempt. Working hard there. The stick comes loose, no call. And away goes Jamie Burke. Burke, 1-on-4. He seems to think at times Jamie Burke prefers to go it alone in those 1-on-4 situations. He's turned it over, however. Rezic now going in, tips in. Pine Murphy fumbles it, and it just goes wide. I don't think he meant that to trickle wide as well as it did. Shot goes in, but it goes wide. Kept in there by McGuinness, but the Mustangs will go out and away. Kratoshka couldn't stop it going forward. Here is Jamie Burke. With Zach Boyle, centres it up. Here's a chance at the back, score!
Oh, yeah.
That was a great play by Burke. He set up McDowell properly, and Mr. Jones was sitting right on the doorstep to put it away. So Sean Jones is having a good year, and it's good to see. Have a look at the replay. Burke to McDowell. McDowell to, off of an Adelaide player on a bounce, but Mr. Jones was alone in front, and the puck's in the net.
Sean Jones with his 5th goal of the year off the knee of Marcel McGuinness, unluckily. And the Mustangs open the scoring here this afternoon in the early start. Way down deep. Stringer will go and collect as the woo rings out after every Mustangs goal. Chance here at the low slot area. The Mustangs nearly made it 2 in quick succession, and that's something Adelaide now need to watch out for. Their heads don't drop. They've played well up until now. I would argue that they didn't deserve to concede a goal there. Marcel McGuinness was in fantastic position and just couldn't get a healthy touch on it. Working hard is Riley to wipe off the icing. Pine Murphy came out and did his job for him instead. Played far side, picked up by Chen. Cross. Trying to go cross ice here, Adelaide. It'll be Nuba. Bright with him. And Vyasov. So Benson comes in to try and help out. He's still going as Nuba. Nuba shoots, and it's just seen wide.
Yeah, I think that on that play at the blue line, he had no option. He knew if you went cross ice, he'd get the pass picked up. Hamish Jones, the adrenaline are impressive so far. Good close game. Well, that's true, Hamish.
There's been a lot of talk about the adrenaline and where they are as a club, and whether, you know, we've got another tweet.
Well, here we go. Joey T, game day. Just a heads up, guys. I bought a new suit. Good on you, buddy. Too bad we can't see it. Maybe you could take a photo and send it. We'll give a plug to it.
The Mustangs will take this one out through Isaacson. Go across the neutral zone diagonally. Centering around, there's not a lot of pressure on him. There's a chance down low. Forbes wide with a fantastic kick save. Still here, the Mustangs, a jam attempt at the near post. Tried to wrap around, but he couldn't get the turning circle going. Bright from the blue line, but the shot was ineffective. And they'll have to reset here, the Stangs. Owens out wide. Played back in. It was Owens through the middle, but instead the adrenaline will work this one out, but they will not do it as well as they would have hoped. They've turned it over. Vyasov tries to go through the middle. Still going Vyasov. Chance at the back. Vyasov, Owens at the back, and another save. And Adelaide clear this out again, and now they are holding on for dear life. The Stangs in again. Dumped off. Owens back. Isaacson can't get it out from in between his legs. He ends up with an ineffective shot, and that is just whacked down ice, and Adelaide get
Interestingly, if you could see the replay coming out, Adelaide Best was wide open, and his supporting winger who had the puck, all he had to do was slide it up to Best, and they're out. but he chose to take another option. It got picked off, and they're right back in, hemmed away. And Best is standing there going, what about me?
Now, the same 5 have to stay out on the ice. And that nearly ends up in their own net there, Adelaide. Warning signs aplenty. It's Robertson who gloves it down and takes the zone. Robertson, but he's picked by Kratoshka, and Kratoshka just backhands it out. Again, a non-look pass doesn't work. Apps will take the circle, then wheel away. That's a big hit down low. And there's some toing and froing there behind play. They will skate away from it. Big hit on the far side, and now the hits are going to start flying in. Kratoshka keeps the puck. He's lined up, and the puck is knocked away from him, and then he continues on afterwards. And Adelaide's #1 import in Ales Kratoshka is a bit steamed at the moment. Anderson couldn't control the puck. It was taken away by the goal-scoring Jones. McCoy couldn't clear that one out and away. Continuing on there is Riley. Here's Jones. Already with one on the board today. Tries to find Burke. Does eventually, does Burke. Burke takes it into the zone. Burke will shoot, and the save was initially made, but it wasn't finished by Forbes White, and Adelaide will see this one out, but not away. It was Stapleton this time who couldn't clear it properly. He waited up the boards, though. He didn't keep the puck as he was going in, but he did get it back. Here goes Stapleton, and he puts it just over. Andrew Stapleton. A bit of dangerousness late, and here go the Mustangs, but they just can't complete the pass. They'll just pressure it forward almost. Adelaide are able to escape it over the blue line. Jones, his pass was loose. Picked up here by McGuinness. That was Remy. Turned over. Here's Burke now. Burke 1-on-2. Burke gets the shot. It's just wide. Under a minute left now in our opening period, which has gone quite fast. Not many stoppages. Here's Nuber. Nuber now 1-on-3. Nuber tries to go through all 3 of them, and that does not work. The Mustangs will look to shut this down and go into the sheds with this 1-goal advantage. In a game that hasn't really met high expectations. Here's one last chance. Best, he couldn't centre it. Played up and away. There's less than 10 left on the clock, and the Stangs get something going here. Isaacson tries to play it across. Still going. Chance on the back. Oh, my word, Forbes White with a save at the death.
Wow.
How has that stayed out? I'll tell you how. It's the kid in Glenn Forbes White.
Well, he's awesome, and he's on fire today, isn't he? Like, that's probably his 3rd great save. And it's, again, just reinforces what I said before about goaltending. You want a goaltender that makes the obvious save, but then you want a guy who makes a save when he shouldn't have to make that save because someone should have picked that guy up, right? And that was a great save, and that's the sort of morale booster that will take Adelaide into the dressing room. They're down 1-0, but that is a good feeling, you know what I mean?
Is it almost as good as a goal?
Well, in some respects it is, because imagine if that had went in with 2 seconds left and they're down 2-0, right?
So that is the end of your first period here at the O'Brien Icehouse. A Sean Jones goal is what separates these 2 teams after 1. It is the Melbourne Mustangs 1, the Adelaide Adrenaline 0 on Pride Day. We'll be back with the second period after this. Welcome back to the O'Brien Icehouse. Your score is 1-0 to the Melbourne Mustangs on their on the Pride game day. Jeffrey Coop here, joined by Rod Johns. Rod, it's safe to say that period may not have reached the greatest of heights. Where to for both teams? The Mustangs obviously have that lead, but it's not convincing by any sort of stretch of the imagination.
No, and I think when we got a bit interrupted at the start. Here you go, Huffy, keep your eye on number 10 for the Stangs, getting some game time today. That's correct, okay? So he's got a bit of potential. He just needs to get a chance to prove himself. So Mr. Birchler, we're watching, okay? Joel South, question for both of you on average. How many penalties are there per game? Caused last night between Bears and Ice Dogs, there was close to 70 penalties. Well,
I don't know if there's extra penalties this year. You get your outlier games every now and then where you get an excessive amount. But I don't know if there's extra games, extra penalties.
Stringer, good to see the Mustangs fourth line get a couple of shifts. Give him a go, seems to be working. Well, you know what? There's a lot of talent on that fourth line.
There is. Gavin Birchler's got a lot of ice time tonight.
Simon, not Simone, Marshall. Happy 20th birthday to my son, Jerry Hart, who is part of the LGBTI community. Thank you, Mustangs Hockey, for supporting. Well, we're a good club, and we support everything and anybody.
And then that's what this day is about in general, isn't it?
Mr. Balmer.
Oh, here we go.
Glad to hear the Prince of Puck, the King of Cool, the Duke of Dude, the Beardly Good God, Rod Johns on the AHL game. Now, I'm a good guy, too. The Beardly Good God.
Beardly Good? Yeah. Well, there is a few beards out there working around. You can try that. Come on, give us one of those.
I think that your beard, look, I'm jealous of your beard because you got color, dude. Huh?
There's nothing wrong with the resplendent age of grey. It shows experience in life, and this is an Adelaide team with not a lot of experience that is on the defence to start the second period. Is working hard as Jordan Owens, and both players end up going feet first into the boards there. It was McGuinness as well of the Remy kind. Here's a chance down low for Owens, who was quick to his feet. It'll be McMahon instead who will retreat with Yasov. One-touch pass, sends it wide to Damien Bright, who does have a fantastic beard with Mr. Bright.
Yeah, he does.
Britoshka stops it and neutralised, wrapped around, picked up by McMahon behind his own net, and the Mustangs will look to try and get something going. A bit of a heartbeat into this contest. Played down low. Here's Owens. Owens working hard, but the shot never comes in.
Take the shot.
Right around the back of the boards, and Adelaide will look to clear this through Gauthier, and they'll get it out to Nuber. Nuber has had a bit more of a calmer game today, you could say, and he goes through there, does Nuber, centres it up off the pads of Pine Murphy, and out the far side is Jordan Owens. Owens, he'll take the shot, but the shot is affected, and it goes wide. And Isaacson goes across, deflection in front, and Forbes White, my apologies, was deceived. Chance down for Yasov, and he is hit hard after the fact by Gauthier. His second shot comes in, but that is wide. Play behind. The Stangs are trying to work something around. But Chen is there to break it up. Goes out to Best. Chen is hit hard there after the fact by Apps. And icing is going to be called on the adrenaline.
So let's go back to a couple of questions. So first of all, in relation to the penalties, well, I think 70 minutes of penalties is a fairly large number, but then you have to put it in context. So how many 2 and 10s were there to get to the 70, right? I like to think that in a regular game, if you got 20 minutes worth of penalties, that's probably a norm, okay, plus or minus, you know what I mean? But if things get physical, and in this day and age, you got a couple of really interesting areas where you get the hit from behind, or the new rule, which was the late hit rule. And
the players are still trying to work that late hit rule out as well.
Absolutely, and I think that's an interesting one.
And from all accounts, the penalties were there in last night's game. There wasn't anything that they were plucking out and calling silly little things. So the Stangs go in, shot goes in, good waffle board save there by Forbes White, jamming in there. Well, the Mustangs down low, and it's the pad again. It's the pad again of Forbes White. It's coming up big today.
So what's that telling you? He's got his pads, look where he is, so obviously you can't do it there, but you must understand that he's very good down low, he's very good with his legs, so you need to be thinking about going upstairs on him.
And Anderson there, who couldn't get the job done against the pads of Forbes White. Puck is out and away. Was it touched? It was not. And we're going to have more icing.
So getting back to the penalty situations, and you're right, so the late hit penalty, that's a new one, and it's an interesting one because people could argue that Well, you've got an interference penalty, so why not use that? Max Weinberg, AHL Game Day. I love the rainbow jerseys. Glad to see more acceptance in hockey. These initiatives have already been helpful where I live. That's good to hear.
That's what you want to hear.
Absolutely.
That's what you want out of these days. Playing off the blue line there by McMahon. Right at the moment of just being able to see off many of what the Mustangs are trying. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Oh, that could have ended a lot worse than what it did, but at the end of the day, Jamie Burke is going to provide maybe blooper of the year.
What did he do? Did he just
he's
miscalculate?
He's gone feet first into the... He's lost the edge.
He's lost his edge. Okay, righto. At least he came up with a smile on his face. That's a good
doesn't
thing.
he always?
Yeah, well, he has many different types of smiles, okay?
That may be the one thing that everyone in the AIHL can agree on, that Jamie Burke has done nothing wrong there. And even then, I still reckon someone will accuse Jamie Burke of being very rough against a goal there that didn't deserve it. As the adrenaline work it out. Here is Jamie Burke leaving the puck behind, nearly having it taken off him by Zach Boyle. He's still working hard, and it's Jamie Burke. That's one thing you can't accuse him of. He is very hard working. Laid up, and Brezek was just waiting at the back. It's worked back here. Here's Burke. Burke tries to center it up. Nearly worked out to McDowell. Here's Jones. And instead, Adelaide are out the back here with Alice Kratoshka one-on-one, and a good save. Sunday Pine Murphy.
There you go.
Adelaide
that was
couldn't
a
get
holy Sunday.
It was a... Oh, jeez. It's the Mustangs down low here. Burke picks this one up. Oh, this is why they don't let us do too many games together, right, isn't it?
That's right.
Played in, here's a chance. Here is Burke, tries to play it down low. Rapper, the great pad save by Glenn Forbes-White, but the Mustangs come again. Here's Owens. Owens has Burke in the centre, but he doesn't use him. Tries to go himself, but he shovels it wide. Picked up by Erzin. Erzin whiffs on the centering chance. Anderson tied him up, still ekes out. There's Owens, still going, but it is careened out. Pine Murphy will aggressively pass it forward for a goal. He touched up there by Robertson, playing it in. Vyasov drops it off Owens. Owens has Erzin at the blue line, chooses to ignore him instead. Goes down low, goes off the back of the boards, has a man down low. That is Vyasov. Works to the fast dot. Sort of softly passes it down low to Isaacson. Isaacson spins away from a couple. Centers it up, shot goes in, scores!
Well, if I was the Adelaide coach, I'd be looking at my players going, you're not trying to kill a penalty, you're 5-on-5. You need to be far more aggressive on Melbourne Mustangs, sorry. And I mean, Melbourne Mustangs had all the time in the world to do whatever they wanted, and that's exactly what they did. So that was unforgivable.
In a 5-on-5 opportunity, how does Vadim Vyasov get 3 years and 12 days to take that shot?
That's what I mean, mate. Michael Clough. All game day beards. Yes, beard Clough, White, Coop, and Johns. No beard Jaff. Someone needs to lift their game. Yeah, Jaff, what's going on there?
I'm not going to say anything about Jaff. If he chooses to not be part of the beard brigade, then that's on him. Here go the Mustangs again. I will say my life has improved since I've grown the beard out. I've only had it for a couple of years, properly.
And is that, why would that be? Is that, are you more attractive to the opposite sex, or just more intellectual looking?
The missus might not like that being said, as the adrenaline forces over there.
Anders, my friend Anders, good morning to the two cavemen in the box. 6:40 a.m. in Malmo, Sweden, but wouldn't miss this. Dude,
no.
Good to have you back.
Could not miss this, as the adrenaline now with a chance to try and get back into this match. Working hard as Stapleton there. He's got McGuinness for company. Works back out. He's thrown in by Riley, but it was easily stopped, and the Stangs will just edge this up. And clicked here by Apps. Apps goes wide to Flack. Apps works back into the middle, but good work by Gauthier to see the trouble coming. He's tied up there, though. Tied up. Here's a chance. McCoy, there's a tip in front. Secondary chance, and a good save there by Forbes-White. Still, though, the Mustangs on attack. Still working round. Still going the Mustangs, and it's just seen wide. And down goes an Adelaide player. We should have had our first penalty there, I reckon. Nothing comes of it. McCoy now at the blue line. He winds up, he shoots, and that is a good save, but it is dropped down. Secondary shot, and a save again by Forbes White. Bradley Apps is robbed.
Wow, he'd be thinking about that one because I reckon he had at least half of the net, and he was going for it.
It's a first initial save there. Probably should have eaten it, but that is great there.
So you had said, Andrew, you hadn't said Andrew McDougall. Sport is for everyone, and everyone should be able to be themselves. As a bisexual person, I'm proud of the Mustangs hockey sport and LGBTQ. And we are too, mate.
Mustangs can't start anything there. Instead, it is Kratoshka down the left-hand side. Kratoshka works in, but he has it taken off him, and the Mustangs go the other way, and Zach Boyle saves certain disaster there for the Adrenaline. And then he loses his edge, and he creates more chances here. Here's Jones, who scored the first. And the Mustangs slow things down. They try to go through. Rezic there with a bit of defensive capabilities. Pad save there by Forbes White. The shot came in from McMahon. Down low, Burke. Just sort of slow. Here's a chance. Jones scores! Sean Jones! No matter how much form you are in, you're not stopping that from Sean Jones.
And again, have a look at the replay. Sean Jones is left alone. No one's on him. He gets the puck and lets it go top corner. So
that's an amazing assist. That is a thing of beauty.
The goaltender's playing it right, looking for the pass out in front. He's down. Jones is wide open. The puck comes to him, and he lets it go. And what did I say to you? You got to go up. He's down. That's exactly what he did. Okay?
Timeout called by the Adelaide Adrenaline.
And I'm sure the coach is saying, if you want to stay in this game, you can't let that sort of thing happen.
Poor Glenn Forbes White. He does not deserve this. And this gets back to what we were saying about Jaden Pine Murphy earlier. The score is 3-0. You can't blame.
Well, it could easily be 6-0, couldn't it?
Exactly. You can't blame Glenn Forbes White for where this currently sits.
No.
And realistically, on that play there that led to the zone entry for the Mustangs, Zach Boyle stops at 2-on-1 and then falls over.
Yep, that's correct.
You know, there's just a lot of little things that are happening before the goal that is leading to the goal happening, and it's leaving Glenn Forbes White high and dry.
It goes back to what I said before. Watch the replays, watch the lead into the goal, and then you can make the right decision on who's responsible. And there's no doubt about that Sean Jones on the last goal should have been picked up. On the goal before that, it was literally like Adelaide were standing still waiting for something to happen, almost like they're trying to kill a penalty. And you can't do that in your defensive end when you're 5-on-5.
You can't. You just can't. Time of the goal, 8:34 left in the second period. Sean Jones with his second of the day. The Mustangs with their third. The woos are about to come, and there's no wooing from the Crow Eaters, that is for sure. Played rink wide, and Gautier will pick this one up in his own zone. There is your woo by the Mustangs fan for their third goal, and Newber is wiped out by Stringer. The cleanest hit you'll see all day, and I think he saw it as well. Poor Kyle Newber. He looked around and bang, Chen gets lined up. Stringer is going out and taking names and bodies this shift. And the Mustangs smell blood. Here's Owens. Owens comes in, but he loses control. Stringer couldn't collect. Still going, though, was Erzin. Owens can't dig it out from his own feet. And Adelaide will see this off for the time being. It is Newber. He looks up and is a bit more higher, and there was a chance at the back for Best, but he couldn't tap it in. Kept in the zone, though. That was, and it was McGuinness who kept it in. Far side there's Benson, but he can't get anything going for the Adrenaline. Erzin calm up to Owens. Owens looks up and sees that there is a change going on, and he's got no friends on the far side of the rink. Turnover nearly affected there by the Mustangs. The Adrenaline, they're not hitting the same marks they were in the first. They look a bit panicked. Here's Zach Boyle. Boyle off the glass, tapped up and in. Riley can't collect the puck. It's collected here instead by Vuryasov. He's working hard this second period. He taps it back to himself eventually, collects his own puck, hit for a second time. Boyle gives up on the chase. Tap back in, shot, and it's kept out there by Forbes White. Cycled back around. Here's Owens. Has been everywhere today. Played out the back and away will go the adrenaline. It was Benson. Falling down. Benson still there in company with Riley. Everyone's falling down now. No one keeping their feet. The puck's still in play. Owens. Soft D-to-D pass. The slowest you'll see all season. And just not touched in by Isaacson.
So let's have a little chat about Adelaide, okay? So I think...
Here's the hit on Kyle Newber just first up. Bang.
That was solid.
Bang.
Good low, solid hit.
He had no idea.
Huffy. Jonesy, let's get some hats on the ice. Well, he's only one goal off that, mate.
Oh, he is. I'm not seeing too many hats, I must say. A lot of beanies, but not many hats in the rink today, I must say. It is a healthy crowd for a Sunday 2 o'clock start. A new game time this year here in Melbourne. This is Isaacson up the right-hand side for the Mustangs. He's turned it over and here's a 2-on-1 chance. It's Kratoshka. He plays it back. Here's Resnick at the back and somehow Adelaide don't score. And if you wanted a chance to get back into the contest, well, I tell you what, Adelaide fans, there was your opportunity. And instead, it is McMahon flying through the centre. It's McMahon, he shoots. And it is locked down there by Forbes White with that pad.
So what I was going to say is you brought it up earlier about Adelaide and what they're doing. So they're trying to redevelop. And I was just going to say last year, they had a couple of guys that were quite good, and Kratoshka was one of them. He just didn't have enough depth to go with them.
No.
They had a good goaltender in Sebastian Anderson, right? And he didn't have enough support either. I see that in their lineup this time around, they've added a couple of players. What do you know about Gauthier and that?
He's a very solid D-man who joined them on that rush there, and he made that third person. But I mean, you need the local depth there that's just not there at the moment. Here's Apps taking into the zone. Anderson wasn't able to hold it. That was the Matt-kind for the Mustangs. Adelaide will take it up. Here's a chance. There's Benson. Benson slides it just wide. It was a half-shot sort of interesting action. Anyway, here go the Mustangs through Anderson. Still going. Chance at the back for Apps, but it was Newber who got his stick in places that Anderson didn't... that Apps, didn't want it. And Apps has come away from the end board hit there by Newber. Not the greatest, but he skates this with a bit of intent. Down he goes. Still no call. We are still yet to see a penalty of any kind. Shot goes in. Covered up by Forbes White. And we'll have a little bit of a get-together.
Be interesting to see if there was a stick, an accidental stick there.
I think there may have been. That's upset Matt Anderson. So getting back onto your point, the local depth is just not there at the moment for Adelaide. You look at their list, you've got kids there, Boyle, Fold, Benson, McGuinness, Riley, the other McGuinness. They're just... They're waiting for those kids to develop from very good AIHL players, and that Adelaide Generals team is fantastic, to solid AIHL players. It's coming. I think everyone just needs to be a bit more patient.
What about the rink?
They're supposed to be fixing the rink situation.
So where are they at with that?
Last I heard, I think there was a stopping of one of the... Oh, there's a big hit there. It was Andrew Stapleton who bore the brunt of that. He very much did get stapled. Here's one of the kids, though, in Jake Riley. He goes through. That's a great move, Jake Riley. He gets a shot off, but it's high and wide. And out of the reach of one of the McGuinness boys. Back was Chen. Sent it up. Here's a chance. Jones for the hat-trick. Couldn't find it. Here's Erson. And a great play there by Gauthier. Puts his body on the line. Here's Burke. Holds, shoots, save, and seen wide. Burke gets it back again. And Burke is lined up by Gauthier. Pinned against the boards. The puck wriggles free. Going in to help and playing it out now our side of Robertson at the point. Burke and Gauthier. Well, Burke wasn't happy. Gauthier comes in from behind, reaches around, and we could see some interesting times with Jamie Burke and Gauthier here. They're still going. The crowd are baying for blood. Nothing comes. Chance. The shot blocked out. This game started to heat up here in the second.
It looked like Gauthier was trying to hold Jamie's stick. Maybe he thought Jamie was tired. He was trying to help him. What do you reckon?
Those sticks can get quite heavy at times. Robertson plays it into the zone. Wrapped around, picked up by Veryasov. Veryasov's bumped off the puck by Gauthier. Played in, chance at the back, and Forbes White again. the scoreline does not show how well Glenn Forbes-White is playing. And here's the move by Jake Riley. That's fantastic. And that's what I mean. You know, you've just got to be patient. The kids are coming. The kids are there.
Towels. Mr. 4, who is usually desperately devoted to Adelaide Adrenaline, has just come in to inform me that the Mustangs hockey jerseys look very good. And they are. I think they're the best that I've seen yet.
Ooh, that's a big call. Here's a chance, though, for the Mustangs. And high save there by Glenn Forbes-White. Rezek tries to go across to find Anderson. That's a nice play, though, by the Mustangs. They're into the zone. Here's Isaacson. He shoots. And it's Forbes-White again.
So I don't want to dwell too much on the development of Adelaide, but let's get real. You need a facility. Their facility that they have at the moment has seen better days. If they get a new rink, they'll draw more people to it, and that will help the sport grow.
Well, I saw a negative story about the Playford rink potentially not going ahead last time, but there may have been a change. There is some interesting things going on politically in Adelaide, and that is putting some construction developments, slightly on hold as the Adrenaline trying to construct something here, but nothing comes of it. And so, well, that's a late knee left in there by Anderson, but he's, look, everything seems to be okay from that. The development of a team, though, can come without the development of a rink. Just look at, what they've been able to do in Canberra. Here's a nice play by the Mustangs. Try to work it far side. They can't. Try to work it into the centre a second time, the Mustangs. McCoy stopped the clearance, but here go the Adrenaline. Here's a 3-on-2 situation. Best goes up, finds Kratoshka. Kratoshka wheels around, and he scores! Does he score?
I don't know. I thought that was in, actually. But maybe not.
We're just waiting. They've scored a goal! And now...
Is that Best down?
I think it's Kratoshka. Well, there's a lot of confusion. I think the goal has been...
Yeah.
The goal has been recorded. Kratoshka, I think, has gone head first into the post afterwards trying to score that goal. We'll see it on the replay here. Kratoshka beats McCoy fantastically. It's a great move. Well, that is a goal. Oh! He just cops a huge hit late by Erzin.
Was it Erzin or was it Lane?
I think it was Erzin. Kratoshka is very ginger to come to the ice.
That was a nice goal, though.
It was a very nice goal.
Beat the defense, cut across, put it right upstairs.
We can get a second look at that. See just what happens right at the end as Kratoshka is not well. That's the last thing the Adrenaline need. They lost their Kiwi Frenchman yesterday in Gavoy.
Yeah.
And when I came into the rink today, that arm is very much in a sling.
So I saw that. So what happened?
I haven't seen the play that it's happened on.
Yeah.
But they're already undermanned. There's 47, Alice Kratoshka, who gets Adelaide back into this one temporarily. You'd think they're now a sign of life, something for them to grow on in the third. And as we've seen, third periods at the O'Brien Icehouse in 2019 have tended to be more of the bananas kind than just apples. Robertson throws it down in.
I'll need a bit of a definition on that. Okay.
Burke neutral ice, nearly turns it over. Here's McDowell. McDowell, time, shoots. Forbes-White knocks it down. The rebound not collected by the Mustangs. Instead, the Adrenaline are a bit better at collecting them now. Nuber tries to go around, and his man falls down there in Erzin, so Nuber will get to it first. Tries to play it across, but can't get it centred. They'd still control it through Nuber. Tried to find Best. Pass didn't work, and it's worked out the back. Here is Jamie Burke. Burke, well held off. Burke tries, and the gate is shut there by Forbes-White, and a second time as well. Not the most effective clearance by Adelaide, but it does its job. Jamie Burke, who'll be smarting after that missed one and a half, you could almost call it. And oh no, Owens has been tripped up by the linesman. Incidentally.
On the linesman, what do you reckon?
I don't know if we can have the linesman sit in the box for 2 minutes. It's for Yasso down the left. Who kills the penalty? There's a chance out the back, and it's seen away again. The Mustangs are knocking on the door. Chance out the back. Shot goes in. Forbes-White again. The rebound too big, though, for Adelaide to control. Out the back there was McMahon, but he couldn't control anything. Yassov. Icehouse trying to shake away McGuinness. And instead, they've turned the puck over. It was the other McGuinness who was able to get the job done. Seen out and away, Riley just couldn't get in behind Damien Bright. And that will be the end of your second period as we see Alice Kratoshka gingerly walk his way into the sheds after fantastically putting the adrenaline back into this one. We end the second period 3-1, Rod.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what happened. Was it the hit after or at the end of the goal? Was it him hitting the post? What happened and why is he the way he is? That'd be interesting to see.
It'll be very interesting to see. It'll also be interesting to see how this third period plays out after the end of 2 here at the O'Brien Icehouse. It is the Melbourne Mustangs 3, the Adelaide Adrenaline 1. We'll be back after this with all the exciting 20 minutes of the third period. Welcome back to the third period now of this game that is between the Mustangs and the Adrenaline, which is actually starting to heat up a little bit. We're starting to see some signs of life working its way back in. It is the Mustangs 3, the Adrenaline 1. And Glenn Forbes-White on the picture there, he has been on song, and despite the 3 goals that the score sheet will show, he has made several fantastic saves. Rod, you're looking at the stat sheet there, he got shelled in the second period, didn't he?
Well, he sure did. 17 shots for 3 goals, but it could have easily been a lot more than that, let me tell you. And I think, again, if I was the coach, I'd be reminding my players that you can only make so many saves before something's going to go in. If the Adelaide want to get in this game, they need to shut the Mustangs down in their own end and be more aggressive on the offense, because let's get real, they've only had 8 shots this game, and that's not even enough for 1 period.
No, not at all. Joel Southgate there was asking for an update on Chris Wong. I don't have an official update on Chris Wong, other than that it's not as bad as first feared. That is what is being said. So it will be interesting to see what goes on there. There's your mate
Simon Marshall. How hard would it be to get the next Melbourne Derby game played at Rod Laver Arena? Well,
oh, my word. This question I think has been asked. This has been asked maybe since I first started supporting the league back in maybe 2013, 2012.
I think at the end of the day, that's a forward plan. There's no reason you couldn't do it. You need to put the ice in. Here's my friend, Annan Pencil. Hey, they always say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. Let's go Adrenaline. Well, if you go to sleep with a 2-goal lead, pretty soon you don't have the 2-goal lead anymore. So you're totally correct. So even though it's 3-1, the Mustangs have been out playing Adelaide, if they go to sleep at the switch and it becomes 3-2, you start to panic, and the next thing you know, it's 3-all, and you wish you never got out of bed.
Exactly. We'll wait and see how things pan out in the third here. Good note for the Adelaide Adrenaline. Alex Kratochka lines up on the left wing and looks a little less ginger than what he did at the end of the second period. He is the 1 for the Adelaide Adrenaline. Sean Jones unofficially has the 2 for the Mustangs, even though the scorers seem to disagree. And the third goal there for the Mustangs as well, which were the meat between the sandwich of those Sean Jones goals, as now Owens kicks it into the zone, picked up by Isaacson. Isaacson has time at the back, but doesn't find its way through. Bright at the blue line. Plays it across to Owens, but just seen wide there by Marcel McGuinness. Working hard. There's Joey Rezic back in his own zone. And icing is waved off. And up go the Mustangs, far left side. They'll try to work it across, chance in, and just deflected wide by the Mustangs. They'll slow things down, they'll look to set it up. Isaacson. Only ran out of real estate, so he just flips it to the end boards. Wrapped around by the Adrenaline, but Vyasov was there to stop it escaping any further. He shakes his man and his fellow 13. They try to play it off skates there. Vyasov keeps it. And just cycles it around, picked up here by Anderson. That is Matt of the Mustangs, Anderson, but he's left the puck behind. Marcel McGuinness. He wraps it out and around. Shot comes in. It rebounds straight back out and away. That was Steve Best doing his best to try and work the puck out for the Adrenaline. Instead, he just does his best in being wrapped up and around Andrew Urson and loses his own stick. Working hard there was Nathaniel Benson, but he is met by 2 Mustangs as he enters the zone, and he's not going to go much further. Here goes Flack. Flack a chance. Flack shoots. Saved by Forbes-White. And he covers up his own rebounds. 18:07 left here in the third. Still 3-1 to the Melbourne Mustangs on Pride Game in their Pride Game jerseys. As we have a look here at this chance that just gets deflected wide here by Isaacson.
Well, that was a good play, and if you were watching the lead to that play, Isaacson was called for the pass to go to Vadim, and it was a long stretch pass to Vadim. Isaacson read that well, broke for the net, and it just didn't happen.
Adelaide now on the attack here. It was Riley who couldn't get the job done, and Lane, will pick the puck up there. McDowell, Jones loses control of it. Didn't go Adelaide the shot, but it's knuckled wide. There was a stick in the way of the shot. It's like looped over Pine Murphy's net. Mustangs just force it clear. Ison's waved off, covered up here by Glenn Forbes-White, 17:30.
So
time is ticking away.
we never really touched much on the Friday game, the Derby game, so
Yes.
that was an interesting game, and there are a few interesting incidents in that game.
I didn't think you want to talk about it much after the result. There we go.
Sparkle Pants Clark now. She's the girl who does the music, and she's lovely. HL game day. How many times can you say best in a single sentence?
I will give it my best.
Yeah.
That's a...
We'll give it our best shot.
There was a best shot almost there. It's worked back into the Mustang zone. And Harley Anderson is met there with a good hit. He pops right back up. He will give it his best effort to try and get a goal and get Adelaide back within one. I don't know if I can do it too many times before it gets a bit tiresome. That would not be in people's best interests as Zach Boyle.
Okay, so here we
plays it
go.
with the high stick.
Skip that. Now,
Yes.
I want to talk to you about two things. One thing is you have a fruit fetish. Okay, you haven't explained that. And then you actually took the fruit fetish and you brought meat and potatoes into that too, okay? So what's going
I'm a
on
bit
with
hungry at the moment. I've got some chicken and chips in front of me that I now have to leave until the end of the game.
Okay.
Face off and neutralise. I'll explain it. Bananas, bananas is a general term.
Right, okay.
Things that go crazy, they've gone bananas. Apples are, they're your solid round fruit.
Okay.
You know what you're going to get from an apple.
Okay.
It's the same thing every single time.
If you get a
Bananas.
fat banana, you can make banana bread out of it.
Ooh, I had banana bread the other week. That was made at home. That was very good banana bread there.
See?
Some chocolate chips added in as well. That very livens things up. Livening this game up would be Adelaide trying to get a goal here as well. And they're unable to collect the puck, and Troy Robertson will look to calm things down, make things a bit apple. Working hard there was Darling. Got it up to Stringer. Working it around. Working hard there was Birchler. Give Gav a go is getting a go. Here's Kyle Nuber, who came into the commentary box at the start of the third period and asked for us to give a shout out to his mother, Donna Nuber, in Sarnia, Ontario. Here's the chance for the Mustangs. Down low was Anderson. He's seen away, up high and nearly into the sky, but it comes down. The Mustangs just see it away. Yes, Donna Nuber from Sarnia, Ontario. Your son is asking, where's the meatloaf? The context to this, I'm not sure, but Mrs. Nuber, Kyle is a bit hungry and would like some meatloaf.
Yeah, you better send it express post.
Don't know if it'll get through customs, that's the only issue. Bradley Apps gets through the legs of Anderson there, still going. Here's Apps, still going, but Alice Kratoshka comes in feet first and knocks the puck away, and does so in a relatively safe way if you can. Milling around the Mustangs, trying to get something going. Centering, but Forbes-White left his stick out there, and he ends up deflecting it expertly to Joey Rezic. Joey Rezic a 1-on-2. Just sort of holds things up. Well done there by Joey Rezic. Nearly plays it to Zach Boyle. Kept in though. There's McGuinness, and he puts the anchors on, and he just snookers it up to Boyle. Boyle fires in the shot, deflects wide. There's no one on that far side for Adelaide. That should have been Rezic, but Rezic was making a change. And the Mustangs will go the other way through Jamie Burke. Burke now has a chance, shoots, but it's deflected wide. Jones will leave this one for McDowell. He just winds up and then soft passes to Burke. Oh, not kept in the zone by McMahon, and so Mustangs will have to retouch up here. It's Marcel McGuinness. To Stapleton, tapped in, and here goes Remy. Remy McGuinness now, still working it wide, but he couldn't find Jake Riley. The kids of Adelaide, not America, are starting to get their chemistry going. It's Jamie Burke, but will be cut off there by Gautier. It was Chen who played it back across. Shot goes in, but it deflects off Bright. The shot tried to go through Bright. Not successful. Bright wheels around. Sees an entry lane, goes across, but misses everyone. And Adelaide have a chance here. They couldn't snooker it up. There is Nuber, but Nuber couldn't pick the puck up. Down go two Adelaide players. They tripped themselves over, and Gautier is back home to save the day. They re-go. Riley, oh no. Riley couldn't go in the zone because of Benson, and a good offensive zone chance goes by the wayside, and instead the Mustangs are out this far side. Try to go back in through Owens, and an offside is going to be called. And
I think Riley lost the puck, and Benson put himself offside, and Riley knew he couldn't touch it, Otherwise, it would have been offside.
Yeah, it just wasn't working well. Your friend the non-penciler's back.
That's excellent. Okay, what food on earth would involve a fruit fetish and potatoes? Please explain. Is this an Aussie thing? Yeah, you know, the funny thing is my normal counterpart and I had quite a thing going with condiments, and now I've got my friend here who's tied up with fruit and that, and I'm thinking you wouldn't want to go pear-shaped, would you?
Oh, no.
Hey, no.
Oh, that's the cherry on top of that one.
There you go.
Adelaide trying to work things around here, but they can't get it out. Eventually they go through for Yasov. Well, Yasov does some sort of tipsy-doodle-do and sort of works the puck around. Some sort of half cycle going on there. Here's the chance, and a shot, and a score!
Nice goal.
Troy Robertson winds up, lets it rip, and makes it 4.
Nice one-timer. Watch the replay.
That was very nice from Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good setup.
Oh, there's the celebration.
Yeah.
It was a good celebration as well.
We want to see the replay. We don't want to see the man.
Smiles all around there, Jackson Lane. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here's the wind-up. Well, that's
one shot, boom. And a little bit of traffic too, which is what you want.
Exactly. The Yasov providing the screen in front. Troy Robertson's getting the goal. And the Mustangs are back for the 3-goal advantage they want. Here goes Apps. A bit of chaos in front of the Forbes white net, but Adelaide are able to see this one away. Chen looking for his wingman and Riley, but he's not on the ice. Instead, he's just going to turn the puck over. There's Alex Chen. Right on through, but not effectively by the Mustangs, and this game is breaking down on neutral ice again. Pine Murphy just comes out and awkwardly plays that one. Wind up and whack around, and Flack deflects it into some sort of neutral ice area, but it would be helpful if Flack got a touch on it. He does not, and icing is called with 12:10 left in this one.
So let's just go back to what I was talking about with the Andrew McDougall. I remember interviewing former Vice President Andy Lamrock that visited a new, larger capacity rink being built as the game and the derbies grew. Well, that's a long-term goal.
It is.
At the end of the day, we're not there yet, but all you got to do is look at the derbies. Every time we play a derby here, the building's sold out, and that's got to tell you that there's a fan base for it for sure.
Fan base for both Melbourne games as there's a turnover here. Here's Burke, the cross-ice pass is cut out. And away goes Marcel McGuinness. Up ice to Jake Riley. The ultimate wingman plays it back, and he plays ultimate wingman, but the shot is saved by Pine Murphy and seen into the netting. Both Melbourne fan bases being at the rink is fine, but you've got to play for it when both fan bases aren't there.
I'll be at the Mustangs hockey versus Brave game on the 20th. I'd love to meet you guys if I could, anytime. Simon.
Well, I'll be here.
No worries.
I'll be here for that game as well.
We're very open, man.
That's good. That's good. 11:45.
But we're not lemons, okay?
We're not lemons, no.
Exactly.
That puck, I think, escaped the
yeah,
zone.
I'd say that was offside.
Yeah, the arm is up here on this near side. Their vision of that linesman is partially obscured by the door intended for the Mustangs. Thankfully, we've got two fantastic screens in front of us as there's a failure of D-to-D passing. And the Mustangs now get a free zone chance at the back, and they can't pot the free goal. That would have definitely put this one to bed. And Marcel McGuinness has dallied too long. And he gets lucky a second time. Lane, cross, and up. Here's Burke, good passing. Draws some applause from the bench. Chance in front. Burke tied himself up in knots like a pretzel. Chance at the back. Can't get it out. Adelaide can. They leave it behind. Here's Zach Boyle. D-man turned O-man. Boyle in and out. Zach Boyle, he just goes wide.
The bench wasn't very happy on that play, mate.
The Adelaide bench is fuming.
Yeah, watch the replay here.
That's a nice little touch pass there by Benson. Boyle
watch the hit after, though.
Looking for the hit after. Here's Robertson. He goes around Robertson. There's nothing really wrong with that from McCoy. It's just...
You got to watch there. The question is, was he charging on it or not? So, again, it's a very interpretive thing. I would think I would think not, but other people may think yes.
For a game where we haven't had a penalty yet, I would hate to see that as our game's first penalties. The Mustangs work their way in. They bounce it off the boards. Adelaide will look to lock this down. Chen. Hard in there, Adelaide. Gautier. He stopped the advancement. There's a shot and Forbes wide. The shot came in eventually. Going behind there is Owens. Owens has been very busy today. Across it goes. Robertson. Inside Owens. Owens tries to flick it back in. Shot comes in.
Good pad save.
Isaacson's shot is saved. Here is Erzin. Isaacson fakes the shot at the point. Goes back to Erzin on the wall. Erzin tried to go around Chen, but Alex Chen stands tall. Trying to work around to Gautier. Gautier has turned it over. Vyasov tries to play it low, but his centering opportunity is blocked. They'll work around again here through Owens. Owens a nice spinorama. Owens tries to play it back, and it's seen high by Isaacson. Owens, though, has it back. Plays it back down. Shot goes in. Scores! Acute angle goal, and it's 5-1 to the Mustangs.
Well, you know, again, just watch what was going on. So Adelaide's hemmed in their own end, but they're not moving. They're not trying to forecheck to get the puck out. They're watching, right? And you can't do that. Like Mustangs throw the puck around well, everyone's standing around, and it goes in. And I feel sorry for the goaltender because really, in the scoreline at 5-1, almost 3 goals were done like that, okay? So if Adelaide need to improve on something, they need more discipline, and they need to be focused and get control in their own end.
Well, we've got the first penalty of the game coming up here. Alex Kratoshka went forward without a stick. As the woos rain down for the 5th time this afternoon. It's Bradley Apps who's going to grace the penalty box for the first time tonight. And, oh, well, that's why.
Bit of a slash.
You really can't whack the stick out of someone's hands like that, can you, Mr. Apps?
Well, that would be the wrong app to apply.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. We are rather in a pickle here, aren't we? Time of the penalties, 9-13. Bradley Apps 2 for slashing. Adelaide have our first power play of the day. They get a second. Firing, down close, scores!
Nuber.
Kyle Nuber, he's no longer asking where's the meatloaf, he's asking where's my high fives. He has Adelaide's second, a power play goal, and it's 5-2.
And Donna, if you could see this, your son just scored top shelf on a deflection, I believe.
He's working hard here, Nuber.
No, maybe not.
He just works hard in front of McMahon. And a little bit of reward there.
Anders, I haven't seen Pat O'Kane play this year. Has he left the Mustangs hockey? Well, Pat O'Kane played the first 3 games, Anders, and the last time he played was on the road trip to Perth, and he's decided that enough's enough for this year. We're still working on him.
He's a work in progress, is he?
Exactly. The original hockey jerk. Sharks fan in San Jose watching my 2nd ever AHL game, Mustangs hockey versus Adelaide Adrenaline. New NHL off-season plan found. Well, welcome to the family, my friend. You'd not be the only one that watches us from overseas and around the world.
No, it's fantastic to see, fans from around the world finding different ways to watch ice hockey when the off-season, does eventually come. For San Jose, it came earlier than what they probably expected. Probably should have come earlier. I'm still rather salty about them beating my Avalanche in the 2nd round.
What I find amazing, mate, is that people get up at all hours of the morning or night to tune in to watch us. And I think that's cool, fantastic. It sure is.
Cool. Here goes Kyle Nuber again. He wants more meatloaf. Still working hard as Nuber. He's had a solid game today. He's centering pass, though, is picked off. Darling plays it down, and Gautier gets in front of Darling and bumps him off the puck. Chen gets it up to Benson. Working hard. There's hard hits being thrown in everywhere. We're going to have penalties, and it's all on here. Nuber, he wants a piece of someone. Anyone, give him someone, he says. Nuber really wants it here. Stringer pulls him out and away. And it's exploded at the O'Brien Icehouse. Gautier and Darling and Benson picked themselves up off the ice, and Benson was the last one to pick himself up. And I think Nuber was trying to protect one of the youngsters on the adrenaline side in Benson. Darling's going to go. Stringer's going to go. Nuber's going to go.
Who was the hit on? Because we can't really see that from here without a replay.
I think it was on Benson, as he was the last to pick himself up. We'll see a replay here. And oh, no. No. That's on Darling. That is on Tristan Darling. And
so a bit of an elbow?
Well,
and a smack into the boards.
Could you call it?
Watch this. Here, he comes up.
The pucks, it'll definitely be part of the league's new late hit rules.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's unnecessary is what that is. And Nuber from behind there trying to start things to protect the kid. Not necessarily needed either.
Yeah,
but
no.
I really don't like that from Darling. I really don't. The puck is well gone.
Yeah, that's why they have that call, okay? And I mean, I'm with you on that. Nuber didn't need to do that either. He could have just waited for the penalty, you know what I mean?
And it's something, we've seen it. Perth have a couple of imports this year have racked up the penalty minutes as well. Something clubs, I think, need to get on top of quite early, because of how this league works and how the retaliator very much gets called every single time.
That's right.
You can't go out and dish out your on-ice justice.
No.
You need to let the officials do that.
That's for
and
sure.
you go and dish out your own form of justice and put it in the back of the twine.
And I mean, look, mate, like at the end of the day, that was a hard hit and it was late, but there's a lot worse things than that. So let the referee call it and reap the benefit, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So we've got two in the box there for the Mustangs. Or do we? The door is open, and Darling has been tossed. Has he? No, he sat back
he's
down.
Still there.
No? All right. The Mustangs bench is remonstrating.
Yeah, because Stringer's in there too.
The scorer, I think, is in the box at the moment. There's all sorts of conversations. The Mustangs bench is in heavy conversation here with the referees. The Mustangs bench is wondering how penalties have been called. Max Perron is very bemused. The scorer has gone back to her seat by the looks of it.
I'll be interested to see why Stringer's in there. Somebody's got a 2 and 10, so maybe Darling got 2 and 10 for a late hit.
Birchler's going across now to serve some time.
It'll be Darling's 2 and 10. I'll bet you 10 it's a late hit.
And so after having no penalties for 2 periods, the Mustangs are now hosting their own penalty box party, which has been a theme of the weekend. Power play opportunity here for the Adelaide Adrenaline, their second of the evening. They scored quite early into their first one to make it 5-2. The Mustangs break away here, short-handed. Vadim Vyasov in, shoots, scores! Vadim Vyasov, as sweet as you like.
Well, I hate to say it, but you could see it coming. So if you watch the replay, look at how much net Glenn Forbes Whiteley's open, and Vadim just looked at it and said, I'm having it, dude. And he did.
He just gave him the space.
So watch this. Thank you. See you later. Bingo.
And it's between the blocker and the pad, and it's a difficult place to make a save. Because either the pad goes up or the blocker comes down, one of the two. And the 4-goal lead is restored. And it's short-handed by Vadim Vyasov. And if this game was on life support for the Adrenaline already, you may be struggling to see them come back into it even further. There is a hard hit on Kratoshka. Seen off the puck, and I think this one is escaping the South Australians very quickly. Boyle. Gautier. Rezic deflects it in, and they haven't really had a chance to set this power play up this time round. Bright gets to wind up and whack it around, but it's kept in there by Kratoshka. Anderson tries to find Rezic, does eventually. The second time of asking, Rezic and Adelaide can try and set this up. Tries to play it across to Anderson. Anderson gets there first, tries to play it back to Rezic, and it's seen away by Bright.
Kratoshka's wide open. They should be looking for him.
Plays it around by Boyle, but Boyle was unable to find a friend. Here's Owens. They come in on this right-hand side again. Chipped into the middle. Damien Bright scores! Not one, but 2 short-handed goals for the Melbourne Mustangs, and this one blows out.
Well, you know, I got to say I feel bad for Adelaide because at the end of the day, you don't want that. I'm obviously biased to the Mustangs, and I want the Mustangs to win, but I don't want a blowout, and certainly I don't want to see them score twice on their own power play. That's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the goaltender.
There's just no back-checking there.
There was no one there.
Damien Bright is all on alone, and that's his fellow 19 and Joey Rezic is 4 or 5 paces behind him when he pots the goal. There's only so much a young goaltender like Glenn Forbes-White can do. Here go Adelaide. Shot comes in. It's seen wide by Remy McGuinness. As the woos ring down a 7th time in the O'Brien Icehouse. There's 16 seconds left in this power play, and Adelaide have, instead of chalking the lead back, have had the lead chalked on them twice. They can't get a shot in. Pinching up was McGuinness, though. He couldn't get clear air with the puck, though. Working hard with Riley. Riley goes back to McGuinness. Back to Riley. Back to McGuinness as the penalty expires. And back to 5-on-5 hockey. They now tie up 3 players in that far in the corner. Shot comes in. Deflection. Chance in front there for Remy McGuinness, but he couldn't do anything with it. McGuinness goes and gets the puck in the corner there, but he loses his stick, he loses his footing, and he loses the puck. And away go the Mustangs again. Rink wide off the boards. Up here by Lambert. And Lambert plays it in. Gauthier, he's nearly turned the puck over, but instead he'll get it back. To Rezic. Rezic up to Anderson, touches it in for Kratoshka. Stick there was a Mustangs player, but they haven't lost the puck. They go diagonal across the Icehouse, but Boyle is there to collect it in his own zone. We tick to around 5.5 left in this contest here. The Mustangs safely potting the 3 points today, you would feel. They're working hard to get more goals. Here's a chance. Shot will come in. Jones looking for that hat trick, but he couldn't find the net. Far side. Shot will sort of almost be like lapped in almost. There was a threat of a hard shot and then it wasn't really delivered. Mustangs will reset though. Burke plays it in, tries to go round Boyle but can't, but Boyle just gives it straight back to him. Not advisable there, Mr. Boyle. Picked up here by Stapleton. And Best. And Alex Chen will look to start something from behind his own net. Boyle lobs it up and well played down there by Lane. Sort of touches it up for Burke. Played back to Lane, but Lane couldn't get clear out on the puck. Beat up here by McDowell. Gets it to Burke eventually. Burke trying to find someone. Shot comes in. It's just wide. There on Owens at the point, and he loses his feet, and then the referee loses his feet, and then everyone loses their feet, and Adelaide will regain the puck. Best tries to shovel it out of the zone and is effective in doing that. And the losing of feet continues there. Jamie Burke. There was some Bronx cheers from the Adelaide bench. Boyle can't control the puck, and he leaves it late for Forbes. One! Oh no, it's a disaster! It's an 8 for the Mustangs. Wow. It's Christian Isaacson. And Zach Boyle will go to sleep tonight wondering why on earth he allowed that to happen.
Well, I can tell you, there was miscommunication. And again, I tell the people that I coach, you must talk to each other. So there was no reason for that goal, okay? And it just was a complete breakdown in communication, and you can't have that.
Oh dear, and it has led to the removal of Glenn Forbes-White from this game. He ends up conceding 8. 5 in the third period. The Mustangs have exploded and they want more. Jesse Gordichuk, the import goalie from Canada, is in now. And the woos are getting louder. And Adelaide's despair grows larger. The Mustangs are looking to pile on here. They've got 3 minutes left. Just can't find an opening as of such. Throw it in. Gordichuk makes his first save of the night. Laid out. Kept in the zone by Isaacson. He works around. He works past a couple. Gets away from Gautier. Still working Isaacson. Still working Isaacson. Tries to play it in. Chance to the back. Scores! Vadim Vyasov. It's 9.
Well,
And the hats, or hat, singular, come over the boards. Just the one lonely hat makes its way over. Vyasov at the back there, and it was just too easy in the end.
but again, like, look at what's going on. Caught standing. Chris Makaborski, every time Vadim Vyasov celebrates after scoring a goal, can't help but to think, come on, man, do the Kuznetsov. I'd like to see the end of that.
Just the connect of Bird Selliers. The 9th wall of the night rings around, and Pine Murphy makes a save that he really hasn't had to do much.
Right. Liam Clark, this is a domination Mustangs hockey.
Only in the last. Really?
Well, it's very unfortunate because, like I said, I think that Adelaide have the depth. They need to do something about their defense in their own end, and I don't mean their defensemen. I mean their defensive strategy in their own end.
Here goes Flack. Do the Stangs rack up 10? No, they don't, because it's on in the middle. Kyle Newber is going at it here. It's with Lee Lambert. And it's a right by Newber, right by Newber, right by Newber, right by Newber, right by Lambert, right by Newber, right by Newber, right by Newber again. Lambert on his knees, and Lambert doesn't let up. And he gets back up, and they're separated.
So is that frustration on Adelaide's part?
I don't know what that was by Kyle Newber.
Did you see how it started?
I didn't see how that started. I followed the puck into the zone. We'll see a replay shortly. Kyle Newber is unleashed on Lee Lambert there. Now this will be interesting to see. Here we go.
You don't see enough of it.
They don't have to start. But Kyle Newber is just unleashing the right hand. Lambert tries to throw a couple in retaliation, but he's just standing there being Kyle Newber's own personal punching bag, and Newber's not done whilst he's on the ground there. Newber looks to pick him back up.
Newber had his jumper, and he had his jumper in the right way, and Kyle couldn't get a swing on him, and Newber got a few good ones in.
And that, I think, sums up this third period for the Adelaide Adrenaline. They've shipped 6 goals. They've seen their young goaltender and Glenn Forbes-White sadly have to be removed from the game, because you just can't have a kid in the goal for that long. And
so, you know, I'm going to say something here. Like, we've actually picked the 3 stars already, and I've actually picked Glenn Forbes-White as the 2nd star. People will be thinking, what were you thinking there? But let me tell you, if you watch the game and watch how many saves he made, and the fact that he didn't get the support that he should have got, the 7 goals that got scored on him, 8 goals that got scored on him, I'd say 5 of them were surely not his fault. He did not get the support.
At least. And you think of the 2 short-handed goals as well. If you're getting scored on short-handed, as much as what the goalie does, is the Stapleton's going inside the box here. So obviously, there's a Mustangs player in as well.
Well, it might be that Newber's out of the game and Stapleton's in to serve the...
Well, there's a Mustangs player as well, so Lambert's definitely out. So I wonder if they're going to call a 2 and 10 for roughing, but I mean, that's as much as a fight as you could ever see.
Absolutely.
Wait and see what pops up on the board. Kyle Newber's got a 2-minute penalty up on the scoreboard, actually.
Well, he'd have to... There you go.
There's a 2 for slashing on Kyle Newber. So majors for fighting and a Kyle Newber 2-minute slash, but there's a man in the box for... Oh, it would be the earlier penalty, sorry. Sorry, there was the earlier penalties. I think it was Stringer who went in. There was a 10-minute misconduct earlier.
Yeah, that's
Stringer
correct.
for the hit. So Apps goes in, tries to work it around. Toshka gets in there, tries to shovel it out. We've got just under 2 minutes left in this game. You'd think that Adelaide have exercised their frustrations. And they'll just look to see this one out, get back on the plane and get home mode to Adelaide, readjust their watches half an hour back and try and go again next week. Bit of space and time here for the Mustangs. They'll throw it in on Gordichuk and it works its way in. We've reached double digits. And it goes from bad to worse to ugly to disastrous for the Adelaide Adrenaline in this third period.
Yep, that's for sure. With 1 minute and 30 seconds left, you just want to end it and forget it if you're Adelaide.
Gordichuk with the initial save, and Jackson Lane has no idea what he's doing there.
Michael Clough, Newber delivers a legit smackdown.
He's trying to get in on the puns by he's not even here. Dear oh dear. Zach Boyle now plays it up to Jake Riley. Riley tries to sneak his way past and it doesn't work. And safe to say, not much has for the Adrenaline. Once it got to 5-2, you thought there was some hope that something could be made of it. And it's just escaped Adelaide. The two short-handed goals put them back, and then they've never really recovered from those. Here goes Burke. Burke into the zone. Burke all in his own. Burke going. Burke puts it wide. Burke trying to make it an uneven 11. Remy McGuinness now through neutral ice as we tick under a minute to go. McGuinness is just going to try and take this to the corner. Centers it up. Here goes Jake Riley winding up, and a good save by Pine Murphy. Again, but he couldn't get control of the puck, and somehow the Mustangs have a 4-on-3 eventually breakaway here. Burke is lined up by Zach Boyle. Mustangs working it round, but they can't find anything in the slot. And tick under 30 seconds left. Things spice up again. Here's Robinson. Shoot, deflection in front, trying to work it round, but
good
effective defensive
by
work
Robinson.
There. Was a good setup there by Robinson. It works out the far side. Best. He's a 1-on-3 lonely man for the Adrenaline. He tries to get a shot away. It's deflected in. They play it behind, and Adelaide's despair is confirmed. They are put out of their misery. It is a resounding display in the third of dominance by the Melbourne Mustangs. They put the pedal to the metal, or in Pine Murphy's case, the jandle to the floor. They rack up 10.
I don't know who's...
And they take 3 points.
I don't know who's worse here, you or Steve, okay? But that wasn't bad. A jandle to the floor.
Well, I've got a large contingent of Kiwiness in my bloodline, and the missus at home is a Kiwi as well, so I wouldn't want to upset her by not including both sides of the cultural divide. And Jaden Pine Murphy didn't have much to do today.
No,
but when he was called upon, for the most part, he made the saves that were needed.
It's good for him. He's got a win, and I think that helps his confidence. And you know, at the end of the day, that's a good thing. But before we go,
3 stars.
Just want to say a couple things about the weekend, okay?
Yes.
So Melbourne Mustangs were hoping to get 6 points out of this. They get 4. Yep. Okay, which wasn't part of the plan, but 4 is better than nothing, you know? And at the end of the day, Adelaide would have hoped to come here and pick up a few points, and unfortunately that wasn't to be the case. I'm sure they didn't think that they were going to get done like this, and that's unfortunate, you know what I mean? So, sad for Adelaide. Somewhat good for the Mustangs and Melbourne Ice. They'd be pretty happy about what happened.
They would be. I think Adelaide will be a little sad as they go back across the border tonight. But the end of this one, and a resounding display of dominance, as I said earlier, as the stick taps come in. The Melbourne Mustangs hang a 10, double digits on the Adelaide Adrenaline. They take this one 10-2 with the O'Brien Icehouse. I've been your commentator, Jeffrey Coop. Thank you very much for joining me, Rod Johns, today.
My pleasure, my friend.
What a game it has been. The Melbourne Mustangs 10, the Adelaide Adrenaline 2. We'll see you next time.